The Stranger at Room Number 6. Chapter 1. The Quiet Inn. In the small town of Wetherby, near Yorkshire, there was an old roadside inn called the Red Lantern. It had 6 rooms, a dusty bar, and a crooked old sign that squeaked in the wind. The owner was a woman named Margaret Holloway. In her late 50s, she lived alone and had run the inn for over 20 years. Business was slow. Not many visitors came these days, except lost travelers or delivery men passing through. But Margaret didn't mind. She liked quiet. She cleaned the rooms every morning, made her own tea, and listened to the radio in the evenings. But one rainy evening in March, everything changed. Chapter 2. A Guest with No Name. It was just past 6 p.m. when a black car stopped outside. A man stepped out, wearing a dark brown coat, a hat and black gloves. He carried a small brown suitcase. He knocked. Margaret opened the door. The man smiled. "Do you have a room for the night?" he asked politely. "Yes," Margaret said. "Room number 6 is available." He signed the register with a pen. She noticed he only wrote one word. Daniel. No last name. She gave him the key to room 6, the farthest room at the end of the hallway. Chapter 3. Something felt strange. That night, Margaret couldn't sleep. It wasn't just the storm outside, it was the guest. He didn't ask for food. He didn't come out of the room. No sound, not even footsteps. The hallway was quiet, too quiet. At 10 p.m., she walked past the rooms to check the windows. As she passed room 6, she noticed something strange. There was a shadow under the door, not standing still, but moving slowly back and forth, like someone pacing. She leaned in. No voices, no TV, just pacing. Suddenly, the shadow stopped. Margaret quickly walked away. Chapter 4. The Locked Room. In the morning, she knocked on room 6. No answer. She knocked again. "Mr. Daniel, breakfast." No reply. She waited a while, then used her master key to open the door. The room was empty. The suitcase was gone, the bed untouched, but the window was still locked from the inside. There was no sign anyone had slept there. Even stranger, the name Daniel on the register was half erased, as if rubbed with a wet cloth. Shaken, she called the local police. Chapter 5. The Missing Man. Constable Harris arrived by noon. He was young, polite, and curious. "You say the man signed in last night, but now he's gone." "Yes," Margaret said. "No sound. No goodbye. The room looks untouched." Harris looked around. CCTV. She shook her head. "It's an old place, no cameras." He took the register book. Just one name, no number plate from the car. "It was raining, I didn't see." Harris gave her a card. "Call me if he returns." But deep inside, Margaret knew something was wrong. Chapter 6. The Newspaper. 3 days later, Margaret was cleaning room 6 again when a folded newspaper dropped from behind the cupboard. It was a London Times, dated March 12th, 3 days before the man arrived. The headline read, "Former banker disappears after fraud allegations. Daniel Rivers, age 41, accused of stealing over £4 million. She stared at the photo. It was him, the guest. Same face, same coat. But how? Why would a wanted man come to her quiet little inn? And where did he go? Chapter 7. The Letter. That evening, as she made tea, someone slipped an envelope under the front door. She opened it slowly. Inside was a single sheet of paper. "I'm sorry I lied. My real name is Daniel Rivers. I didn't come to hide. I came to decide what to do. You were kind. You asked no questions. That made me think. I left a small package in the cellar. Call the police. Tell them where it is. I'm ready now." Her hands trembled. She ran to the old cellar beneath the inn. Chapter 8. The Hidden Package. Behind a pile of coal, inside a rusted metal box, was a small black pouch. Inside, £38,000 in cash, an old passport, and a handwritten confession, Daniel's own writing, admitting to his crimes and the stolen money. She called Constable Harris. Police came within hours. The news spread fast. Fugitive banker leaves clue at countryside inn. The papers said the full money was not there, but the letter helped the investigation. The rest of the money was later found in a flat in London. A month later, Daniel Rivers walked into a police station in Manchester and turned himself in. Chapter 9: A Visit. Months passed. Margaret continued her quiet life at the Red Lantern. But now the inn was no longer empty. People came, curious to see the place where the mysterious man had stayed. One morning, a young woman came to the inn. She had kind eyes and held a small box. "Are you Mrs. Holloway?" she asked. "Yes, I'm Daniel's sister. He asked me to give you this." She left the box and walked away. Inside was a thank you note and a small wooden figure of a red lantern. "You gave me a night of peace when I needed it most. You reminded me that silence isn't always running. Sometimes it's healing."